My name is Joanna. I'm from Citizens Alliance for North Korean Human Rights organization based in Seoul, South Korea. And I was wondering whether the report will be addressing the issue of corporate governance from the perspective of the state-running companies. In case of authoritarian countries, these are companies run actually by the state, and we have that example of North Korea. That is, every ministry has a number of transnational trade companies that are linking with other companies in the region, such as China, Russia, but also through that to the global supply chain network. And as Mr. Nelly has said, that was talking about the best interest of company. In case of these companies, the best interest of these companies is what is the best interest of this totalitarian state that is already involved in mass human rights abuses, including enslavement, torture, gender and sexual-based violence, etc. So I was wondering whether a report can address these issues as well, especially that the victims, even if they are victims of transnational corporations, such as Western corporations, outsourcing production to China and then to political prison camps and prison in North Korea, these victims, because they are on the territory of the authoritarian states, do not have access to this grievance mechanism. Thank you.
I'm Jiun Lee from Citizens Alliance for North Korean Human Rights. So my question is about how to monitor and integrate SMEs in challenging countries like China and Russia, basically ignoring the due diligence and human rights orders. So we had this concern because when we were doing our investigation, we were seeing that so many like SMEs in China are advertising through social media that they are trading goods like fake eyelashes and wigs that are based the forced labor inside of North Korea. And some of them are very openly talking about these products are coming from the North Korean detention. So like in this case, how can we monitor these SMEs and also how to integrate them into the system? That would be very helpful. Thank you.
I'll give the floor to the Honorable Representative of the People's Republic of China to make a comment.
Thank you, moderator. This is a very good parallel session in which the guest speakers provided their informative observations. We learn a lot from this. However, there is something we have to respond. One is during your moderation, you guided the speakers to discuss the so-called use of child labor in the Chinese automobile company. We express our deep regret and concerns regarding that. Such accusations are unfounded and highly misleading. I feel we have to address them here. We also hear some accusation about the so-called forced labor in China by some audience, and also one audience talked about the so-called forced labor of the SME in China regarding the North Korean laborers. We have to express also our concerns over that. I want to take this opportunity to explain what we actually did. We believe that children are the future and hope of the world. Protecting and promote children's rights is an important aspect of the international human rights. We attach great importance to the development of child cause. More than 30 years ago, we submitted our instrument of ratification of the Convention on the Rights of the Children to the UN. And if you are interested, I think you can find the laws. I just searched it on the internet and I got it. We have specific laws to forbidden use of child labor. It's regulations on forbidding the employment of child labor. It was issued in 1991. And regarding the so-called forced labor in Xinjiang, I want to reiterate that all employees in Xinjiang, regardless their ethnicity, race or gender or religious belief, sign labor contract with SMEs, with companies are encoding of the labor law, the labor contract law and other laws and regulations. And personally, I went to Xinjiang before. I saw there how they work. It's justly as normal as every other part of the world. So we have to take this opportunity to respond to those misleading accusations. Thank you.
There was a question on China, which is going to be where most of the source, but obviously it's pretty clear that you guys don't feel able to answer that, which is fine. But how can companies effectively set up due diligence programs in places where frankly it is really difficult to operate? You have a hostile government, you have a secretive authoritarian regimes, or you have democratic regimes that are just not allowing access to indigenous peoples, whether that's in Latin America, Africa, Central Asia or elsewhere.
Thank you for your question. I'm going to give the floor to the delegation of China who has requested the floor. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair, for giving me the floor. China want to answer some of the comments from the speakers just now. That the forum was established in accordance with the resolution on the UN and should follow certain rules. All stakeholders are free to discuss the promotion and protection of human rights, but should not harbor prejudice against any country, including China, and we must not deliberately smear any country. Thank you.
Final question, please, from the floor.
The panel also underlined the importance of minors and youth in human rights defense and how they often struggle with recognition. Yet, Uyghur youth advocates like us are systematically targeted through China's transnational repression aimed to silencing us and threatening our families. What guidance can you offer to ensure young Uyghur and allied activists can safely engage in climate and human rights advocacy when a UN member state actively seeks to intimidate, monitor, and harm us beyond its borders? Thank you.
The delegation of China has once again requested the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We want to repeat that China has never forced anyone to relocate for work in Xinjiang. The claim of forced surrender or transnational repression in Xinjiang is a complete fabrication by certain anti-China forces. We urge certain organizations to stop interfering in China's internal affairs under the guise of human rights and to stop undermining Xinjiang's prosperity and stability. Finally, I would like to kindly remind anyone that only constructive dialogue can effectively promote and protect human rights. We must make good use of this important platform and valuable resources of the forum rather than waste it. Thank you.
And I would like to remind all participants that while all views may be voiced in this forum and opinions may differ, this is also a platform for constructive dialogue and exchanges. All participants are required to show respect for others' views, avoid abusive or disrespectful language or derogatory and inflammatory remarks, and to uphold UN standards when referring to countries and territories. We also ask you to ensure that your comments are in line with the topic under discussion during the session in which you are speaking. I'd like to call on everyone to adhere to this and commensurate with the dignity inherent to the discussion on human rights issues. I count on your support in ensuring that a sense of respect permeates our discussion. Tolerance and respect should be the key words of the forum. With this in mind, I am going to resume the session.